Hello everyone, it's Simon here from Higher Plane Games. Hope you're all having a great start to the week. Apologies, my channel, I've been a bit, not AWOL, but just not around so much because I've had a skanky cold and it's driven me right up the wall. So this is a gentle breeze back in again to streaming and a little bit of everything else. Hey NC Gamer Boy, hope you are well. And we are going to do some F1 2019, F2 2018 on part of this season and go off to Spain. There's the championship, as you can see. I am Roberto Merri. So nearly everyone scored points. No Tridents, Kari Makino or Gunther, sadly, and that is that. So let's continue on and see how we get on. As always, in F2, one-shot qualifying. We are doing half-length races because this is just designed to be a stopgap until they sort out what is going on with the actual F1 2019 stuff itself.
Here we are at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, where today's qualifying session is about to start. And we'll be ready to join the action down at trackside any moment now.
Thank you very much, Alex Jakes. I'm going to try, and I don't actually know if it will work, but I just thought it'd be interesting to see if my Alfa Romeo setup would actually work on this car. And if it doesn't, I guess we're fucked. But there we go. Tyres there. Everyone goes out on the soft. NT Gamer Boy, thoughts on the British Grand Prix? Excuse me. I thought it was a cracker, actually. Some really great on-track action. Some really good points to talk about, actually, in terms of how things work. Bear with... Oh, I'm used to the F1 car. Hang on. This could go horribly wrong. Okay, that's better. Yeah, some really, really good points to talk about in terms of not just the race itself, but also I think understanding where the hell Vettel's head is at. Because that was not a great display yet again from Vettel, who seems to have lost all ability to race head to head with anyone on the grid, which I find really fascinating. I also thought, and this is me as a British person, I've got this wrong, never mind. As a Brit, I still think Antonio Giovinazzi's safety car calling incident was far too what's the word? Schnauzers. Are we still going to be 18th? Yes. Sorry about that. I heard Vettel channeled his inner F1 2019 online multiplayer. Indeed. Yes, he did.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three. De Vries, Russell and Sergio Sette Camara. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the feature race tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Cool,
will do. That was a terrible end to the lap there. We could have been easy top 10, I think, if I'd have actually got that right. Well, so it was good for the race. Yeah, I was very confused with Vettel. Yet again, another crash. Yet again, another disaster. The safety car, I think, gifted Hamilton the race. I don't know whether Bottas would have been able to have kept him behind or not, but that certainly pretty much guaranteed him it. I just was very frustrated at that, especially when the championship, quote-unquote, needs a bit of spicing up to keep its hope alive. But thank God for Leclerc and Verstappen for having an almighty duel. Thank God Bottas got some bollocks out, because that move into Cops was amazing. And some great battles up and down the field, and it's great to see close racing and the ability to be able to follow working out well.
Welcome to the circuit to Barcelona, Catalunya. This circuit has seen some exciting racing over the last quarter century.
Has it now?
The question is, which of the young drivers below will be the next to write a chapter of that illustrious history? It's 2.89 miles around the circuit to Barcelona, Catalunya, 7 lefts and 9 rights that make up a total of 16 corners. Probably one of the best opportunities for overtaking is down the main straight and into the first turn. That's one of the 2 DRS zones the drivers will be able to use this weekend.
Overtaking round Barcelona? You've got to be lolling me.
Davide, is there anything we should be looking for in today's race? The teams are all very competitive at the moment, so are we about to witness a push from anyone in particular?
Hi Alex, the team will have been studying everyone else out there very carefully, so I think we are in for a very interesting event today. I can't wait to see how this race unfolds.
I think Carlin are winning slightly.
And here are the driver grid positions for today's race. Nick de Vries starts from pole position today, and it's George Russell in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sete Camara, Latifi, Lando Norris, and Albon, Markelov, Gunter, Cuoco, Luca Giotto, Galeo, Aitken, Arjun Maney, and Fukuzumi, Delatraz, Boccalacci, Makino, and Roberto Meri. Lorandi and Nico Kari completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay. It's going to be another burn from the back, methinks, after that quali lap. NT Gamer Boy, if Vettel...
Okay, be wary of the cars ahead braking suddenly into one. We could ruin our race if we hit them. Good luck.
If Vettel does end up retiring in the end of the season, who should take his place? Well, the latest gossip is that it's going to be Perez if he does retire, which I think is quite interesting. Apparently Lance Stroll is desperate to have Robert Kubica alongside him at Racing Point, therefore pushing Perez out. Perez will either go to Haas to replace Grosjean, or to Ferrari to strike up old links that he had there. I don't know quite where that would go. I'd be very surprised if Ferrari did get rid of Vettel. I think it would be Vettel would have to go himself rather than be pushed, if that makes sense. Purely because... Oh, wow, it thinks that a two-stop is... Mind you, it's Spain, isn't it? Oh, no, it's 25 seconds. Sorry, I was looking at that as 30-30. I'd just be very surprised if that was the case. I think we're going to do a reverse rouge stratage and do a 12-7. This could go horribly wrong, but we'll see. But nothing wrong with doing a reverse strategy in GP2. Sorry, F2, for God's sake, Simon. So yeah, so that's kind of the latest thing of what Ferrari might do. I genuinely don't know though. It's such a weird... Oh, that was a terrible start. As it always is in this car, I've noticed. Come on, Makino, Boccalacci. Oh, Lorandi it is, sorry. Naughty Alessio. I love you, Delatraz, but I need to overtake you, I'm sorry. Ah! Arjun. Argy-bargy Arjun.
Okay, that's a good start. Keep it up.
Boccalacci returned to F2 this weekend, actually. I feel scared. Okay, we're okay. Sorry, Naire. I need to catch up on the latest Super Formula race, actually, see how Fukuzumi has got on among other people. I'm assuming Dang Tictum wasn't there. Ha 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 ha. We're the only guy on mediums as well. What else was a good drama that happened? Oh yeah, Rich Energy. What an absolute clusterfuck that was. And good luck to my good friend Tom Parker, who will be competing for Haas in the esports for F1, actually. I know a couple of the people that do the esports, but Tom is a very, very good friend of mine, so he gets all of my love. Super Formula. So the F2 car is really difficult to drive, so it makes it reading the comments quite difficult. I will get there though. You're on the straight, yes we are. Damn, I haven't heard that name for a while. Super Formula. So there's a YouTube channel actually. I think it's called Go Go Racing. I've subscribed to it. I should know this. And they've somehow got hold of the Super Formula like license brand, and I'm assuming it's supposed to be legal, but it feels really illegal. They stream it, and they've got like someone basically telling them what's going on at the circuits, relaying it through to some people sat in like a house. In the UK, it's some of the weirdest attempts of broadcasting going, but if you want to watch Super Formula live, it's the only way how you can kind of do it in the UK. I don't know where Fuoco's gone to, actually. Oh, Aitken. My boy. Just because you win the reverse grid race at Silverstone in real life. Really? Oh wow. That is horrific tyre wear, and that's a horrific stop. Thank God they don't implement the go round and cut. It's Super Sky been dominated by one driver. Yes, it has. Sorry, I'm going to replay that because I was too busy looking at your comment to actually brake for the corner. Sorry. My fault entirely. You think F1 is one-sided? Yes. Well, maybe not one-sided. I just think it's the gap between the top teams and the other teams. Now that you don't have reliability problems and gravel traps, means that you can't spring a surprise result very much anymore. I know a surprise result shouldn't be something that you hope for every race, but just the amount of people who make it onto a podium these days, or even like a top 6 finish or a top 5 finish, is so tiny. Might as well start giving points down to 15th, do you know what I mean? I'm not getting involved in that. Artem, you beast. Oh shit. This car's so snappy. Alright, we need to get past Gunter. V8 Supercars has also really annoyed me with the weird
Top 10 now. Keep it up.
cutting the track but keeping the position gate that happened a few races back. I was really unimpressed with that. Especially when it's one of the people who are like part of that dominating drama. So you kind of think, ugh, don't give them more help. And like, I very much enjoy V8 Supercars, but that also feels a little bit at the moment processional. So much of what happens overtake-wise seems to happen based off the strategy, which I guess it has been for a number of years, but yeah, I struggle with it a little bit. So currently my favourite series at the moment has actually been GP2. It was last year, it has been so far this year. I'm delighted that F1 seems to have had a couple of great races again.
Some information on Boccalacci. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Aw, Dorian. He's last anyway. Okay. Ah, crap, Atkins got through on Gunter already. That's not great. Quite enjoyed IndyCar this year. Even if I do have to watch Santino Ferrucci do well. Disgusting. And whilst I've enjoyed Formula E, because that obviously had its big finale this weekend as well.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
That's the same strategy. I wasn't actually looking to overtake you, Markolov, but okay. The issue that I have with Formula E is that the tracks themselves are so awful that you just have to smash people out of the way. You can't overtake properly. And that just lends itself to a destruction derby, which is entertaining, but not always for the right reasons. And whilst I will not throw, like, having all of those different winners as being, like, a bad point, because clearly like the same people still rose to the top and it kind of worked itself out in the end. It had more crashing than like Rallycross. And it's almost like the opened wheel version of British touring cars, which I have been loving as well. But yeah, I've kind of noticed this year that where I've I'm having to pick and choose some of my series a little bit more because I just don't have the time or the inclination anymore to do them all. I'm really pleased with how this race has gone so far. Oh, this looks juicy up ahead. Lando, baby. Is that Russell in the lead then? Oh, they're really slow. No! Idiot. There's Russell in the lead. Okay. We're doing good. So yet again, see, this is the other problem with this game. I'm in a bit of a rant today, I apologise. It's been a crap day at work and I've still got a cold. But this game holds everyone up in the pit lane. So George Russell, doing a fine job, a couple of seconds out in the lead, comes out of that pit lane thing through no fault of his own, several places behind where he should be.
Like this set is coming to the end of its life. We don't anticipate having much more time before it's completely gone. The grip loss will be sudden, so be ready. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
Good. Trying to lift a bit around turn 3.
We're leading our teammate by 27.3 seconds.
Well, it's worked out beautifully for Giotto. Losing time to Latifi. Okay. cut. But I'll take it. Definitely gonna have to go around again. Pit.
Pit window open. Let's box this lap.
Losing time though. Around that corner alone. Ooh, Giotto's getting past Latifi. Nice move into T1. Oh, someone's... Ah, Russell, no! VSC it. VSC it, please. Fine, don't then. I'm not going to let Russell win, are they?
Box, box, box.
Come on. Yes, we have made it. Bang on. Beautiful. Is a 2009 F1 Death Rattle? I don't think so.
Exit now.
That was a bit weird. Hey James, by the way. I don't think it's Death Rattle. I think, like, we've had a couple of really, really good races, and that kind of made me go, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
And made me very happy. I do think it continues to raise very, very serious questions about what F1 wants to be. What a value of an overtake is. How healthy is a 20-car grid when only 6 can win, and really then it's only 2. Sorry, DeFries. That was a bit dive bombing. It also needs proper consistency. Like, oh God. as a British person, I still think that there was no need for a safety car to get Giovinazzi out. That should have been a virtual safety car. At best. The only annoying thing with that is that they did do the safety car for someone else in the gravel. Nope. For someone else having a drama in... Sorry, this is... Because I'm busy talking about F1, if I get it wrong I will do a flashback. I try my best not to though. They did do a safety car for a very similar incident in Formula 2. So the precedent was set, rather annoyingly. But F1 is a bit like... It's like that child that you've had when you've got one child that does everything really, really nicely, and then you've got a child that just acts like a twat all the time. You're like, you're very difficult to love. I don't put anything past Liberty Media doing something like a sprint race with reverse grid and points and stuff like that. I can see them really, really going nuts and changing the fabric of what F1 is to spice up, quote unquote, the show. If they can get away with it. I think there's also, you've got the issues of where the teams all have their say. They're too busy pushing for their own needs rather than the needs of the sport, and it always has been, and it always will be, so long as they're involved. It should be put into, they should be consulted, but not like the be all and end all of everything.
Managing your tyres. Manage your tyres.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm managing the tyres.
Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds per lap.
I work in, so my day job, I work in the UK government. Don't kill me, everyone. It's nothing to do with Brexit, I promise. And so when I deal with stakeholder management and stakeholder engagement and trying to like do user research and stuff like that. And when you have stakeholders involved in stuff, like there's a stakeholder matrix type thing of like, you basically decide who you want to keep informed, who you want to have advise, who you want to just educate, and who you want to just keep in the loop. And I feel like F1 could really deal with a RACI, which is like the acronym for getting all of that sorted out. It would be quite apt actually for Formula 1 to have something of that name. No Sete camera.
Brilliant. Nice move.
But yeah, just to round off on that thought, if Liberty Media or the powers that be would just say, these are the rules, this is what we're going to run as, come along and play, because otherwise it will just continue going along like Rich Energy's Twitter account and just be a complete and utter fuck mess.
2 seconds.
Oh good, he's not got DRS. Sorry, Lando. You've already got enough points this season. Alright, time to go for the teammate. And then pray that I've got enough tyres to bring it home. Let's coast around this corner a wee bit. Maybe not.
Some information on SETI camera. They seem to have an issue.
Aww. No! Ah, shit.
This is your final lap of the race.
I love this car so much. It's so floaty boaty, but really sensitive on the throttle. Very punishing. I'll take third, considering we started 18th. will do us nicely for the reverse grid. Coming right up after all the post-presentation stuff.
Brilliant stuff from Campos today. What a superb victory.
Campos?
Tell me, Davide, what was the key to
Oh, it's us. Yeah.
This is why I love this sport. Their car dominated the track today. You could tell they went in full of confidence, with a clear strategy in place. They displayed excellent knowledge of the track and made it count when it comes to some of those more tricky corners, allowing them to make huge gains on some of the less confident drivers. I guarantee the fans will certainly be talking about today for a long time to come.
I can see them on their way out to the podium now. Campos have come a really long way in this sport, and what a special race this was to see them earn the top spot. And now, let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Lando Norris, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
It's got to be Roberto Meri. He really deserved this result today. It was a fantastic drive.
On to the teams. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Campos this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After all this drama, you would be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
There's no big dramas there, apart from George Russell having a retirement, continuing his horrific season so far. So that puts Norris still well clear from Camara. Markelov up to third. We move up to fifth. Giotto moves up to sixth. Latifi got good points there for Dams. Gunter gets his first points. Nothing else exciting there. And we leapfrog Dams overall. No changes elsewhere. Although Charouz and MP are battling on at the back. Right, let's move forward to the reverse grid race. Top 8 reversed if you don't know about Formula 2. And then no pit stops for this one. Again, I'm running at 50% race distance compared to the real race. AI is at 90 because I was unsure about the Formula 2 car in general and whether or not I could keep it on the track.
We're returning after yesterday's feature race for the final event of the weekend, the sprint. Down on the grid below us, the drivers are spending their last few minutes getting ready. Very soon, they're going to kick this race off in dramatic fashion.
Yay!
In the commentary box for the big race today, I'm Alex Jakes, and joining me once again, it's Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as well as being the 2012 GP2 champion, you also have experience as a test driver in F1. What would you say are the biggest differences for people fresh to the world of F2?
Well, Alex, I think it's an exciting time in Formula 2 right now. For spectators, a lot of excitement comes from all the drivers being in the same car. That puts the emphasis on driver skills, meaning lots of overtakes, which means exciting race for us.
Thanks. Also, on the sprint race, they don't talk you back through the grid again. I don't know if that's a bug or not.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy.
Ooh, 13 laps. Right, well, we barely managed 12 in the other race. Bollocks. Okay. We'll see how we get on. What's the worst that can happen, Dr. Pepper? Typical shit off the grid, I expect. Yep. I don't know why it's impossible to get a good start in an F2 car. But you just... it won't let you. That was a bit dive bomby, but never mind.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up.
No! Fucking curbs. Apologies.
Has just moved into first place.
I think he's been there all along, Jeff. Where is he? There he is. Okay. How's the tyres? Orange. What else did I want to talk about whilst I've got a few laps and it's a bit quiet and I'm not about to throw it off the track, he says. Oh yeah, Rich Energy, that's what I want to talk about. So they now have become Lightning Volt and got rid of their bearded homeless millionaire wonder, thank Christ, whose last attack on Twitter was to Photoshop the Haas livery onto a milk float. prompting Guido Vandergaard to say DM me your details so that I can tweet for you next race. Which would have been beautiful, but alas, they are a company at least pretending to run a business. But I was having a conversation on Twitter with people in a job that I had admittedly about 15 years ago now. I used to be a store manager for a payday loan company. I know, I will wash myself clean. And we used to have to, when trading in checks from companies and stuff like that, look on Companies House and find out about different companies. And we had like a paid version of a credit checker, and it would give companies credit scores out of 100. In general, if it was below 30, you wouldn't want to lend them much money because it just means that they don't have, or have not shown historical recourse to be able to pay back loans and stuff like that. Which is just interesting in general. What I'd be very interested in doing though, or seeing if someone would do it if they had access to all of that, is to run through what Lightning Vault does on Companies House and how their credit rating score is, because I do wonder, they've not filed any returns since 2017, which is perfectly fine. Companies don't have to do anything. But a lot has happened in the last 2 years to see that company grow and grow and grow, and we have no public track of it, which I just find interesting. What's also very interesting is that the gentleman who has taken over Lightning Vault... Oh, is that camera out? Drama?
Well done, P3, P3.
It doesn't want to give you the VSC or VC at all in F2, I've noticed. I'm going to have to really start to look after my tyres in a minute. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. Thomas Gruber, who is an F1 journo, has noticed that the gentleman that's taken over for Lightning Vault / Rich Energy has taken over 8 limited companies in the last 9 months and changed all of their names, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's interesting that whoever it is involved in several different things. And is he buying up companies to kind of push together collateral to make it seem bigger than what it is? That kind of drama. Second from Albon. Cheers, Alex.
Good job, nice overtake.
We've done what we've done on lap 3. There's only 1% taken away on that corner, that is good. assuming every time the crowd goes ooh, there's like a near miss or an overtake or a dive bomb going on somewhere.
Good job.
Ooh, new
That was the
fastest lap.
fastest lap of the race so far.
Nice. Oh, Albon's coming.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap for the race.
I want you to freeze, but I'd also like my tyres to not explode. Second. Oh no, Delatraz.
We're catching the car ahead, but be aware that these tyres need to last till the end of the race.
I know!
The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
I don't think my tyres are going to last. It's okay. We need to pray that the tyres will hold on. I don't trust anything over 70% from the last game. Although I've not had a puncture under 75% yet. So it's going to be a last lap drama, I can tell. Trying to coast through that corner as best as possible. Okay, can we do it?
This is your final lap of the race. You are in first position, front of the pack. De Vries is behind you. Less than a second separate you. They're on old mediums. This is your final lap of the race.
And shield. Right, going to get you. Just make sure those tyres don't explode. And don't fuck it up out of this last corner like you did last race. Nice. Yeehaw.
You worked hard for that one. Congratulations.
Cheers, Jeff. Sweaty hands. Makes me happy after a day of having a horrible cold and working for the last 2 weeks of one.
Fantastic victory for Campos today. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
It's
Cody,
time to
sort
present
out
the top
that bleed
drivers
out.
with their trophies for today's race, and there are a lot of people in the paddock very happy with this result. It's Campos on the top step.
Aww. Thank you to Vries and Albon.
So then,
Let's just do
it's
to the
time to see how
standings.
this result affects the Drivers' Championship. The gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race for our championship leader. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
Difficult call, but I'd like to say George Russell. He's just so gifted at getting the most out of tires, and he's shown that today.
And now a look at the team standings. We saw a dip in form from the championship leaders today. Their lead has taken a significant blow. Another team that will be satisfied with this race is Charus, whose good result moves them further up in the championship. It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We'll see you when Formula 2 returns.
There we go. All nice. Arjun Maney well off the pace there. Not great. We'll have other people coming further up the field. Good runs up and down the... Oh. Let's take a look at the standings. So, Norris still leads the way. We've moved into second. that won't last because it's Monaco next, and we all know how I do there. Albon up to third. We've leapfrogged Markolov and Camera. Of course, Camera retiring. Russell having a meeting to forget after retiring from race 1 and not being able to get back into the points for race 2, obviously. Randy moves ahead of Maney in the battle of the non-pointers. And that point from Froco moves Charus ahead of MP. Trident still yet to score. So that is that. Thank you very much everyone for watching. I hope that was interesting. I'm sure I'll be back with Monaco in the not too distant future. I've got some other different videos coming out over the next few days on the channel, but apologies, I've still got a squeaky voice as I am recovering from cold. And I nearly said that I was with child, but that is not true. Take care, happy watching, happy racing, bye!